spent in a miserable way.
U.S. News employee on life support after being sh0t at University of Maryland Hospital in Baltimore. A 24-year-old employee of the University of Maryland Medical School is in critical condition after being shot outside sh about 7 a.m. Monday. A 24-year-old employee of the University of Maryland Medical School is in critical condition after being shot outside sh about 7 a.m. Monday. A 24-year-old employee of the University of Maryland School of Medicine is in critical condition after he was shot outside the university's downtown Baltimore hospital Monday morning, police and hospital officials said. The shooting at the Royal Baltimore's medical community, a tight-knit group in which some doctors already have called for measures to abate gun violence in Baltimore and beyond. I have done way too many of these things with you guys, Drive Thomas M. Scalia, head of the hospital, told reporters at a news conference Monday morning. This one is as close. The victim, who police have not identified, was just east of an ambulance bay, in the 600 block of W. Redwood Street, when he was shot in the face and buttocks at about 7 a.m., police said. University of Police believe the victim knew the alleged shooter, spokesman Matt Dablow said, though the nature of their relationship was unclear. Late Monday afternoon, police identified the suspect as Yamai Horton, 26, of the 900 block of Lemon Street. Horton did not have an attorney listed in online court records as of Monday evening, and could not be reached for comment. Scalia said doctors were treating the victim, who was on life support. He said he was hoped the hospital was placed on lockdown after the shooting, but, after police scanned the area, the facility soon resumed normal operations. At no time were we out of business, Scalia said. We remain open, outside the University of Maryland Medical Center in downtown Baltimore on Monday morning. A suspect who the shooting was an isolated event, Baltimore police lied. Colonel Jones said there was no indication the shooting was related to any others in the area. Monday's shooting followed a June incident inside a behavioral health clinic on the University of Maryland Medical Center campus, where Baltimore police who they said charged at them with a chair and a knife. Also, in October 2017, a woman was arrested and charged in the fatal stabbing of her husband, Christopher Yancey Sr., 33, inside a room where their son was receiving treatment. The woman, and when the tweet of November the 7th that doctors should stay in their lane on the topic of gun control, that message did not sit well with Drive Joseph Chakra. The trauma surgeon is himself a victim of gun violence and has been a vocal advocate for funding. The latest shooting reverberated around Baltimore's medical community, including at Johns Hopkins Hospital, where a doctor was shot in 2010 and survived with AIDS from his colleagues. Paul Warren Part, Drive Joseph Chakra, the Hopkins trauma surgeon, did know that Dr. David B. Cohen. But he said it all. He said medical staff in Baltimore's 4 trauma hospitals repeatedly see the devastation from gunshot wounds, which state data show grew to about 2 a day, who needed emergency care in 2015 after a spike in violence following the death of Freddie Gray. Baltimore has seen more than 300 homicides annually for the last 4 years, the majority of which are due to fatal shootings. A 27-year-old man was shot in Tasmania by Baltimore police after charging at officers with a chair and a knife at a behavioral health clinic, the police said Thursday. The man, whose name was not released, was taken to the nearby shock trauma center with critical. Shootings are a small but growing percentage of emergency visits, which are dropping overall in Maryland. The wound, when the victim is a colleague, or from the medical community, it's still shocking, said Chakra, who recommended those affected seek care if they need it and also discuss the shooting with others to alleviate their emotional load. It's one of those things that makes you realize that we're all susceptible to being a victim of gun violence, he said. We're all humans. He said he heard about the efforts to care for Cohen at Hopkins and is sure that the staff at Maryland acted in a similar professional way to provide treatment to their colleagues. When we are needed, we go into a mode where we're making one life-saving decision after another, he said. What he wants now is to stem preventable deaths from gun violence. He had been prepared. Baltimore Sun reporters Kevin Rector and Colin Campbell contributed to this article. A 24-year-old employee of the University of Maryland School of Medicine is in critical condition after he was shot outside the university's downtown Baltimore hospital Monday morning, police and hospital officials said. The shooting at the University of Maryland Medical Center roiled Baltimore. Police were on the scene at the University of Maryland Medical Center in Baltimore, where an employee was shot Monday morning. Police were on the scene at the University of Maryland Medical Center in Baltimore, where an employee was shot Monday morning. Police were on the scene at the University of Maryland Medical Center in Baltimore, where an employee was shot Monday morning. Police were on the scene at the University of Maryland Medical Center in Baltimore, where an employee was shot Monday morning.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.